63 days and counting. 63 days and counting till the start of Q4, of quarter four, the last 3 months of the year, of the number one art selling time all year. So, this is the point in time of the year where those of us here at Art Storefronts start banging the drum incessantly, encouraging you guys to get your digital and offline houses in order so you can have a huge Q4. So I've got some AI related stuff I want to talk about. Um, I've got a spaceship crazy moment for those of you that hang around that you can only get if you're watching this. So you should stay because this is awesome what I'm about to tell you. And then what else am I talking about? And then I'll take any of your questions and then talk a little bit too, just about what's going to come in terms of like our Q4 programming as a brand to help you guys get ready for the upcoming holiday season. And can I just say that big day, economically speaking, today, we beat GDP estimates and inflation was lower than expected. Both of those numbers came out today and both were lower. Now, the Fed didn't cut rates, but overall, in terms of 2 out of 3, that is not bad. Things are starting to look good, which means I think that we are going to have a big Q4. I think it is well worth getting ready for it right now. I think there are a number of things that you need to do, and I want to continue to bang the drum on those to get you guys fired up, motivated, inspired, and look, it's the number one art selling time of the year for a reason. More art, more photography, more creations are going to be sold in October, November, December, sometimes than the other 3 quarters combined. But it is the number one time. If you've not been taking your marketing seriously, if you've not been taking your business seriously, if you've not been truly trying to validate your art, or maybe you have been doing all of those things and you haven't been getting the best results, it's just the best time of the year. So we love to be super positive about it, get out way in front of it, get you guys prepared, and talk about all the various different ways to get you prepared. So what's going to be different this year, perhaps in sharp contrast to years previous, is AI is going to play a role this time. Okay. AI, if you guys start embracing it, if you start learning how to drive it, if you start getting somewhat proficient at it, that means you are going to be capable of making more Instagram posts, more Facebook posts, write more emails, write more blog posts, write more letters, write more personal correspondence, personal reach out. Every single solitary thing artists and photographers hate doing in terms of marketing, the AI can make easier. And I'm talking about all of them. Yes, we have one. Yes, it's a good one. Yes, you should use it, but it doesn't matter if you're using ours or if you're using any of the others. Okay. AI can fundamentally change what your Q4 looks like if you embrace it, if you start working with it, and if you start getting the reps and sets in. I have a podcast that my team's finishing up editing and is going to put out later today, and it's a very, very big one. So I want to tease a little bit what's going on in that particular podcast. For those of you guys that are watching and want to leave me a comment, I'm very curious which AI you are using. You know, if you're using Art Helper and you're a customer, that's awesome. You can just put AH. But are you using GPT? Are you using Claude? Are you using Grok? Are you using Gemini? Which of any, or if you just dipped a toe and you've barely started yet? Because what's interesting is that for those of us that are way, way down the rabbit hole on AI, okay, that are using it all the time, that are getting better, that are getting the reps and sets in. Yeah, Lightbridge Photo uses Claude. I'm a huge Claude fan myself. Anyone that's listened to me for any period of time knows that like I've been asking during my day, okay, during the day when I'm working inside, I'm on all 4 of them all the time, including ours. I'm on all 5 of them. I'm spending so much time. I swear to God, my wife wants to divorce me because she's like, you are spending too much time on the AI. You better come play with your kids. So I'm so deep down the rabbit hole. It's absolutely ridiculous. And when I go about my day-to-day life, okay, when I go get a haircut or when when I'm out with my friends at the bar or I'm at the supermarket or I meet somebody on a dog walk, I always ask like, hey, are you using AI? And if so, what for? Right. And the general consensus that I get out there is that like most everybody at this point in time has usually kicked the tires a little bit, but they've ended up leaving. And the reason they've ended up leaving is because they didn't have an aha moment. They didn't have a wow experience. And there's a reason that you guys, most people are not having wow experiences. Okay. And in order for me to explain this to you, I've got to pull a classic movie in. How many of you guys have seen this? when I ask, like, I didn't realize how big this movie is. Most people have seen this movie. Okay. Most people know what the concept is of this movie. The concept of this movie is very, very interesting because the concept of this movie is why most people try AI and leave. Okay. Give AI a shot, but say, this is cool. Maybe I'll be back later, but whatever. I'm going to bounce. It's this movie. It's the concept of this movie. And when you watch this movie, Drew Barrymore's character has an accident. She gets some special form of amnesia. I forget the name of it. It's really hard to say, like anterior retrograde amnesia or whatever, right? And so the way that it works is she can't have any new memories at all. So every time you have, her memory lasts only a day, essentially. And so every time you have a conversation with her, she forgot the conversation that you had the day before. It's like starting all over from scratch. So Adam Sandler in this movie meets Drew Barrymore after her accident, right? And so he gets to have a relationship with her for a day. And then when she goes to sleep and wakes up in the morning, the whole relationship's gone and he has to start over from scratch. That is the number one reason that everyone that uses AI is having a not having a come to Jesus moment, not having an aha moment, not having an, oh my gosh, this is an incredible moment. Because in order for an AI to not work like 50 First Dates, it needs to have context. Okay. And most of you guys said you use GPT. Some of you said you use Claude. Let's assume for a second that these AIs are the smartest people in the entire world. It would be like you being able to have a conversation with Elon Musk or Warren Buffett or Picasso or Einstein. If any of us got to have a conversation with any of those people, we would be like, oh my God, that conversation was amazing, right? That conversation was incredible. We would walk away so thrilled. But what if each time we wanted to have a conversation with that person, it wasn't like, oh, hey, Patrick, nice to meet you. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Versus, what if you went and had another conversation and it was like, hey, Patrick, nice to see you again. We talked about X, Y, and Z last time. Let's go and do this. Let's go and do this, right? Like where the conversation just hits the ground running right out of the gates. And the smart person knows you, right? How much more valuable is that conversation? How much more are you getting out of that conversation? And where am I going with this is the reason that most people don't have this incredible aha experience with AI is because the AI doesn't have any context on who you are, on what you're trying to achieve, on how you talk, on what you sell, on what you want to put out there in the world, on what your work looks like, right? And it's our job, okay, as those that know how to use AI to get the most out of it, to understand that context is king, right? Context is king. So I made a mega in-depth podcast on this that walks you through some of the most advanced techniques on how to do this. And what's so rad about it is, with 15 minutes invested listening to that episode, and it'll be out later today on the Art Marketing Podcast, you will start getting 30 to 40 to 50 to 60 to 70% better responses every single solitary time you use the AI, because you will understand how important context is. Okay. Context is the entire ballgame. And I'll tease a couple of the things. And then for those of you that are hanging around, I've got something special for you. Most people, because we have our own AI app, I got to see what you guys all throw in the chat, right? Art Helper now has open chat, just like all the rest of them does, which is really cool. If you haven't used it, if you're a user, go in there. It's amazing. Anyway, what most people do is they're like, hey, ChatGPT, hey, Claude, I'm a wilderness photographer, and I am introducing a new series that I just took at the beautiful Shaver Lake in Central California, Sequoia National Forest. Help me write an Instagram caption for it, right? And ChatGPT or Claude comes back with a beautiful response, and it's decent, and you have to rewrite some stuff, and you're like, that's okay. All right. One of the things that I teach you how to do in this podcast episode is something that's called context chaining. Okay. Context is king. The more the bot knows, the more the bot has to work with, the significantly better the results that it is going to churn out. Okay. So what if instead of, when you sat down with ChatGPT, when you sat down at Claude, of saying, hey, I'm a wilderness photographer, this is my beautiful new pic of the Shaver Lake at sunset. Please, can you help me come up with a title? Or please, can you help me write an Instagram post? What if instead you did this? Okay. And this is super epic trade secret. I hope you guys listen to this, and I hope you intern this. I go into Claude, I go into Grok, I go into Gemini, I go into Art Helper, I go into GPT, and I say, this is my first thing I say. I am going to give you a bunch of context. Do not respond until I say go. Enter. And immediately the bot goes, oh, okay. He's going to give me a bunch of context. I can't respond until he says go. And we do this so the bot doesn't vomit out this long, voluminous AI slop content before we even asked it. No one has time to read it. Okay. So again, going back to my wilderness photographer example, then I'm just going to use GPT. Hey, GPT. Okay. Do not respond until I say go. I'm going to give you a ton of context. Enter. Next one. I am a wilderness photographer specializing in the forest regions in and around the Yosemite Valley. Primarily, I shoot sequoias, I shoot mountain lakes, I shoot wooded forests, I shoot waterfalls, and I shoot beautiful granite formations. Okay. My target audience is 60-40 male, ages 20 to 65. Enter. I'm going to send that into the bot. Then you go, they are primarily tourists to the Yosemite Valley, occasional visitors, and sometimes full-time residents. Enter. In my lineup, I have prices from 0 to 100, 100 to 1,000, and 1,000 plus. In the low end, enter, I sell bum 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 bum. In the middle range, I sell canvas, fine art, acrylic, and metal prints. My limited editions start at 1,000, and my really limited editions are at 5,000. Enter. Can you help me now write an Instagram post with all of that context, maximized for engagement, and to help me find collectors? And then I type go. Okay. And because you stacked all of that context all in a row about who you are, about what you do, about who your target audience, about what the pricing that you have, about what items you have in your lineup, this giant, big, beautiful brain, whatever one you're using, smartest man alive, now knows exactly what to say. It now knows exactly what to do. You start chaining prompts together like I just outlined in this video. And if you came late, you're gonna have to go back and watch the replay. But if you start doing that, or listen to the podcast that's coming out later, Art Marketing Podcast, for those that don't know, it's linked everywhere. It's linked in the bio. It's all over the place. You are going to get anywhere from 30 to 70% better results. You're going to go from someone that sits down at ChatGPT, at Art Helper, at Claude, at Gemini, at Grok, and it goes, oh my gosh, I can never leave this thing again. These results are so much better. It was perfectly what I was doing. And the whole point of it is, what the title of the podcast is that context is king. Okay. Context is king. When the AI has the context, okay, what it can do is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And again, if I piqued your interest, you need to listen to the podcast. I appreciate you saying that, Gina. In addition to that, okay, the next rub that you figure out when you spent entirely too much time in AI land, as I have, is it's very, very difficult to get the bot to sound exactly like you. Okay. Everybody's working at this. I want to tell you, I've been working at this for the last 3 months, and I've cracked it. I've certainly cracked it a decent way. Okay. And I've created a new product. Okay. And the new product is called Voice Prints. And what the voice print is, it is a document that you upload to any of the LLMs. Okay. Art Helper, ChatGPT, Claude, Grok, anytime, anywhere, for any reason, to get it to sound exactly like you. Okay. And I'm going to tease this, and I'm going to tell you, anyone that's watching this, okay, because I've kept you for so long, and especially you, Kurt, because you left some great comments. All you have to do on this video is leave a comment with the word print, PRINT, and I will send you a direct message, and I will make one for you, okay? Because they cost me money every time I do them. You should be stoked on this thing. It's actually, quite frankly, it's unbelievable. What I have figured out how to do, okay, and I'm not going to tell you how I do it, but I figure out what your core voice archetype is. I figure out what your tone and style is. I figure out what your key themes and topics are. I figure out what your signature phrases and quotes look like, your punctuation and formatting patterns, your emoji and visual markers, how you use those, okay? Your storytelling structure. I figure out your vulnerability and authenticity markers, okay? Your engagement and interaction style. I figure out your cultural and biographical influences. Sorry, I'm reading from the document. Technical and process language, voice evolution. I don't even know what half of this is myself, okay? Content structure templates, do's and don'ts of writing, technical and professional vocabulary. I grabbed sample posts. I mean, this thing that I've created is absolutely amazing. And as I said, for those of you that are watching, and leave me a comment with the word print, it's only going to work on Instagram, sadly, because I don't have the bot running on YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter. But you can. You get one of these files, you give it to any of them, ChatGPT, Grok, Claude, Art Helper, Richworks. I actually made one for you already. I think, pretty sure. I think I did. Did I send it to you already? Maybe I did. I don't know. It will sound like you. It will sound so like you. It will fool you. That, like, how did it sound so like you? You could write an email to your significant other and they would think it's made by you. Okay, 100% they would. Yeah, and let me just see if I've got Richworks art. I made one. I emailed you Richworks art. Where the heck is yours? I can read yours. I bet if I read Rich's, I'm pretty sure. I'm looking forward to my special little folder here. Do I have yours? Check your email. I'm pretty sure I emailed you yours, didn't I? I saw that name. Unless I'm going crazy. Bear with me for a sec, guys. But anyway, the point of it is context is absolutely king. Okay. And I'm convinced, I'm like so convinced that I can barely even tell you, if you guys get this dialed in ahead of Q4, okay, if you have the ability to leverage this technology and chat as we go into a Q4 that looks to be significantly better than any of the ones that we've had in years previous. Oh yeah, I do have one for you, Rich. Are you Gail Rich Boxman? If it is, I can read hers. And if I read hers, you guys will see her reaction. You'll go like, what? Yep, I've got hers. All right, Gail. You guys, you want your minds blown. Okay. Can I read it, Gail? Can I read yours? It's not, I mean, it's based on your public persona a little bit, but let me read a little bit of hers. She's not going to care. I will read this, you guys. And okay. And I want you to hear this. I want you to hear this. So in terms of Gail's, okay, Richworks art right here. Gail C. Rich Boxman, voice, print, and writing style guide, mixed media artist, nature enthusiast, large animal sanctuary co-founder, core voice identity. Her bio quote is an Oregon artist, nature spirit intertwined into abstracts. In my Creekside Sanctuary, co-founder of On Golden Rescue, earthy mixed media. Her voice is warm, educational, and deeply connected to nature and animals. She's a storytelling artist who seamlessly blends personal narrative with artistic education, creating intimate connections through shared experience of nature, spirituality, and compassionate animal care. Voice characteristics, tone, and personality. Warm and welcoming, writes like a friendly neighbor sharing over coffee. Educational yet accessible, teaches without being preachy or overly technical. Nature connected, constantly references natural elements, seasons, and outdoor experiences. Spiritually grounded, mentions divine moments, spirit, and symbolic meanings. Community orientated, includes viewers as part of our artistic journey, right? When the LLM gets this, okay, it is unbelievable, right? You see her going, oh my God, wow. It just knows how to sound like you. And all of this goes back to what I've been saying the entire time. Context is king. Context, you guys, is king. So you have to look out for this podcast episode. It is absolutely must-see TV. It is something you absolutely have to listen to so you understand this. Take it from me, for the last 6 months, I have been so far down the AI rabbit hole. You guys, like, I'm telling you, like I said, my aforementioned, my kids and my wife want to kill me because I mean, I cannot get away from the screen. And I already made one for YouTube, Rit. Did you not get it? Did I not email yours? I'll email you yours too. They're amazing. And you guys, they work just as well in Art Helper as they work in ChatGPT, as they work in Claude, as they work in Grok. It's an amazing thing what this AI can do. So we need this. We need to understand context. We need to start playing with context and getting better responses so that you can post more on Instagram ahead of Q4, so that you can write better posts on Instagram ahead of Q4, so that you can write better emails to your collectors ahead of Q4. It is such a different thing when a perfect email comes out in your voice versus one that's just sort of good and you got to go back and edit it, because nobody likes sending emails. You're all terrified to send emails. Okay. Now you can literally upload this file, say, I need to write an email to such and such about such and such thing. Can you tune it up? Let's go. Right. And it's absolutely, I mean, it's just absolutely insane. And Britt, I don't know if I emailed you yours yet or not, but I will. I created one for you during my testing procedures. Britt's is insane too. It like what it captures and how it does it. And I'm not telling any of you how I did it either. I'm not telling any of you because this thing is too good. So leave me a comment on this Instagram with the words print, PRINT. I will create one for you. The little bot will tell you what it's going to do. I need some information from you, and then I got to get your email so that I can, send it to you wherever you want me to send it, and I will do that. But context is king. Listen to the podcast. We all need to get ready for Q4. I mean, the number of days until this baby is here is we are going to blink. Summer is going to be over. It is going to be time to shift into high gear. Okay. Absolute high gear. Appreciate all of you. See you in a future episode. Go listen to that podcast. Context is king.